Have you ever felt just weighed down by the world? Like you're tuned into some kind of negative frequency that you just can't shake? Well, today we're going to unlock a map that's hidden right inside our very own DNA. It's a journey from the shadow of discord to the incredible gift of empathy. So let's get into it.
I mean, what if the cure for that feeling of hopelessness wasn't some big, complicated thing you have to go out and find? What if it's an open secret, available to every single one of us right now? A secret we've all just forgotten how to hear.
You see, you can think of our genetic code as this amazing reservoir of these open secrets. Sages and mystics throughout history have been pointing to these exact same truths, and they didn't find them by looking up at the heavens. They found them by going deep within. These core insights about love, about wisdom, about just letting go, they're right here inside of us.
So, if these secrets are just sitting there, why aren't we all walking around enlightened? Well, it's pretty simple, really. We don't listen. Our lives get too busy, our heads get too noisy, and we put up this armor around our hearts. We might hear a piece of good news, but then that little shadow whisper comes in and says, yeah, but how can that really be true?
Now, in this way of looking at things, a shadow is basically a challenge, or a lower frequency state of being. And this inability to truly listen, it traps us in one of these states. It locks us right into the 13th shadow discord, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A state where we are fundamentally out of tune with the harmony of life.
And this is what's so fascinating. Discord is actually an acoustic term. Think about it like a radio dial that's permanently stuck on the disaster channels, the static-filled survival frequencies. Our ancient reptilian brain totally takes over, and its only job is to hear the sounds of fear and scarcity. It's programmed to report the bad news, to scan for threats, and when you're living in Discord, that is the only broadcast you're hearing day in and day out.
And the dilemma this creates is pessimism. But it's really, really important to understand that this is not the same thing as cynicism. Cynicism is often a choice, right? It's an intellectual shield you put up to protect yourself. But pessimism, that's deeper. It's this pervasive sense of hopelessness, a core feeling that things are just fundamentally broken and out of sync with your dreams.
Does any of this sound familiar? This is the background hum of discord. It's that little voice in your head that says the world is going down the tubes, that magic is for kids, that you gotta be realistic. It's the frequency that has simply forgotten about love and all the possibilities that exist.
And we've all heard this, haven't we? It perfectly captures how this whole thing works. Every single generation says it. It's pessimism's favorite trick. It keeps us always looking backward, believing the past was this golden age, which makes it absolutely impossible to see the incredible potential of right now and of the future.
So this is the big question, right? If we're stuck on the wrong frequency, just broadcasting all this discord and pessimism from the inside out, how in the world do we change the channel? How do we break that pattern and tune ourselves back into harmony?
The answer is so simple, it's almost hard to believe. It's just one word. We learn to listen again.
And that brings us to the solution. The path out of that shadow of discord is what's known as the 13th gift, discernment. So just as a shadow is a challenge, a gift is our higher potential just waiting to be unlocked. And this gift isn't about hearing with your ears, it's about this deep, profound practice of listening with your whole being. Discernment is basically the art of telling the difference between the heart's quiet certainty and the mind's loud, chaotic agenda. It's not about shutting the mind off, not at all, but it is about prioritizing the heart. The impulse of your heart, it doesn't shout. It just sort of arises from the stillness, from a pause. It feels clear and simple. The mind, on the other hand, it loves to argue and justify. Real clarity comes from learning to recognize that quiet, unwavering voice. So how do you actually practice this? Well, first we listen inward, to our bodies, to our gut feelings. Then we make space to listen for that quiet impulse from the heart. And finally, when we listen to other people, we don't just wait for our turn to speak. We learn to listen through their words, to hear the notes they aren't playing, to hear their heart. That is how you build a real bridge for connection.
And here is the immediate payoff. This kind of deep, heart-centered listening, it's completely transformative. It creates sympathy, which is just another word for an energetic resonance that brings us into tune with each other. It's what rebuilds our sense of community and shared humanity, one moment, one conversation at a time. It turns all that distrust back into trust.
But this journey of listening, it goes even deeper. As we really master the gift of discernment, we move from sympathy to the highest potential of this energy, which is called the city of empathy.
You can think of the city as the most enlightened, pure expression of this energy.
The language itself shows us what a huge leap this is. Sympathy means to feel with someone. You stand beside them in their feeling. Empathy, that means to feel within them. You don't just stand next to them. You can actually enter their being and feel what they feel. It's a whole other level.
And this is the essence of so many great spiritual teachings, isn't it? Christ's central message here, it wasn't just a nice piece of moral advice. It was a profound statement about the actual nature of reality.
Because what it really means is to know your neighbor as yourself. To realize on a fundamental level that the separation you think is there between you, it's an illusion. Your neighbor is you, period. And when you know that, love isn't something you have to do, it's just something you are.
Ultimately, this whole path leads to this incredible cosmic perspective. There's a place inside every one of us that is nothing more than a simple listening presence. Through our individual awareness, through each and every one of us, we are the universe digesting its own experience, becoming aware of itself. So the journey from the shadow of discord is really just a journey back home, back to listening. And the deeper you listen, the more optimistic you naturally become, because you start to realize that beneath all the noise, there's really only one frequency playing everywhere. So the real question is, when you quiet the mind and truly start to listen, what love will you hear?